Welcome to another fascinating episode of Busboy Millionaire. Today we're going to talk about rental arbitrage or Airbnb arbitrage. So I just recently found out about this thing, but it's actually been going on for a while. Little background: we have 11 Airbnb units, and new bylaws have come in that essentially, for the way my units are set up, is it's going to basically mean I won't be able to operate under the new bylaws. My places will not qualify. So they're going to go back to long-term leases, which is fine by me, and we'll run it that way. That being said, I've learned a lot about being an Airbnb host since 2011, and it's 2020 now, so 9 years of hosting short term, and I think I'm good at it. So I don't want to waste that experience, and I like the business of Airbnb and short term rental. But the problem is, before I thought you had to go and have a property and then you could Airbnb it and you have to own it. But that's not necessarily true. What you can do is do Airbnb arbitrage or rental arbitrage. What that means is basically you rent a unit from someone. In turn, then you rent it out. It's subletting, basically. And you rent it to someone else on Airbnb, and you hopefully make money on the difference. There's folks out there that have like tens of units, like 10, 20, 30, 40 units. And this is a business, a full-time business for them, and they're bringing in like $1 million a year. They don't own anything, but they are just managing it and collecting the difference. So there is a bit of a challenge to do it. You have to approach a landlord that's willing to do it, and if they are okay with it and you make a deal with them, you can have a really good business. And if you understand how to manage your Airbnb and get the right guests, there shouldn't be any problems. So the upside for landlords is you go to them and you say, okay, I'm going to guarantee you a year or maybe 2 years of a lease. And on top of that, I'm going to make sure the property is managed well. There's someone there to take care of it, and you're always going to get paid on time. Landlords love to hear get paid on time and long-term leases. Then you in turn go list it on Airbnb. You tell them this is what you're going to do. You also have to tell them, I'm going to list this on Airbnb or HomeAway or VRBO, and I'm going to manage it for you. So with us, what I would do is I would lean on our experience at what we've done before, then go out to a landlord and say, I've been doing this for almost a decade. I know how to manage these places, and I want to rent your place and manage it that way, and then rent it on Airbnb or HomeAway or VRBO. The great thing about this model that I love is that you don't have to go and put down a ton of money to buy a place. Also, the second thing is, if you're not seeing the return after a year, if you're breaking even, or there's, maybe there's a downturn in the city that you put it in and you're seeing less traffic, you could just say, okay, my lease is over, I'm going to go find another place and I'm going to rent from somewhere else and turn that into an Airbnb. So there's no real commitment. That being said, it's still going to be some work, but the biggest advantage is the dollar commitment is a lot less. You do not have to go and buy a place and put $50,000 down and get a mortgage, or put $100,000 down or $200,000 down, get a mortgage, and figure all that out. So, all that being said, is now that the bylaws here are changing and I can't do it here, What I'm going to do is do it somewhere south. Costa Rica! Or Turks and Caicos, or Barbados, or Aruba. But somewhere south that I can go rent a place and then I can Airbnb it out. And deal with a market that isn't so restrictive on Airbnb units. The reason I'm exploring Costa Rica right now is that there's a huge influx of tourists going there. The market's growing. Also, what I've heard is that the season for tourists has expanded. It used to be a few months, 5 or 6 months or 8 months out of the year. And now what I'm hearing from the research I'm doing is that you're getting at least 12 months or 11 months like that, which is great. If you're getting that kind of tourist flow, that's fantastic. So I'm in talks right now. I've talked to a couple of real estate agents down there, and I'm starting to line up some properties that I'm going to go look at and do the Airbnb arbitrage thing down there. I had a friend of mine who recently bought 2 places down there, and he's Airbnb-ing it. He's doing really, really well. He bought 2 brand new places. Shout out CVD. Congrats on that. And it's just encouraged me even more to take the leap and go down there. After I check out Costa Rica, I might check out Roatan. I think that's in the Honduras. Maybe Turks and Caicos. We vacationed there quite a bit, and I like it. And it's also, we're looking at places that are easy to get to from central hubs. That's like about 3 hours. Costa Rica, I have to double check Costa Rica on the flight down there. But I know places like Turks and Caicos, 4 hours, easy to get to. But it is a whole new way to look at Airbnb and investing in real estate that's attainable. That's the important thing. People that want to get into short-term rentals, they will go, oh, I don't have the money to go and buy a whole place. But this whole model of Airbnb arbitrage it's a thing. When you do the numbers, it works. You just have to understand the business and get in with the right place that has the right foot traffic and tourism. And you can do all that research on Airbnb. You can go to Airbnb, pick, say I'm picking in Costa Rica, it's Nosaro. It's a place that I'm looking at, and also Samara. And when you put those in, and you can put them into the Airbnb search, and you'll see what the competition is. You'll see the types of places people are Airbnb-ing, how much they're charging, what their occupancy is like. You can go into calendars of other people and say, oh, look at this. This guy's charging $300 US a night for a 2-bedroom place, and he's booked 80% for the next 5 months. And that's a good indicator of that this is a really good way to invest. I also have other friends that actually have homes down there that they're selling, and they're saying that they're property developers, and they're saying that it's a great country for a bunch of different reasons to invest. And there's a lot to do down there. It's very yoga, surfer type of beach area, and it's safe. So I think this is quite possibly the next phase of what we're going to get into. And it's, every time I do the numbers, I'm just going like, this is crazy. This is awesome. I don't have to buy a place. What I'm going to do, go down there, check some places out, and arbitrage some places. And then if the money's really good, then it might be worthwhile to buy a place. But I want to do a test run with this arbitrage, this Airbnb arbitrage first. Look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of videos of guys that have been doing it for a while, and they can give a lot of information. about how to do it successfully, and all lots of tips and tricks and things that you'll need to do it. But it's a thing. Anyways, Busboy Millionaire out.